member orientation. My name is Lily Arguello, and we're going to be spending the next 60 minutes together. Thank you for taking time out of your lunch to join the webinar with us today. Just a little housekeeping. For the most part, we're acting through the chat. So feel free to start networking, putting in your LinkedIn URL. Let us know where you're joining us from. I have my colleague and some special guests who will be interacting with you as well. We will be reviewing a lot of material regarding PIHRA and how PIHRA can best help you. This deck, the presentation slides, will be sent out to all of you this afternoon. So feel free to take notes on things that may not have been on the slide that we're talking about, but you'll get these slides. In addition, we're going to email you additional links or URLs based on the questions that we receive from you to give you any additional information that you will need. And so that it's really easy for you to get to that information. Now let's go through what we're going to be discussing in the next 60 minutes. I usually take the full 60 minutes. So, and by the way, I'll be pausing from time to time just to check on the chat to make sure I'm not skipping over any important questions or anything like that. I do see that Elisette has shared her LinkedIn. Here, let me share mine as well. Please connect with me. That's a great place to connect. And we can drive you to our company page. That's a great place to get information about what's going on with PIHRA and other LinkedIn groups that we have. But what we're going to review today, we're in the welcome phase, and then I'm going to give you a general update on what we have going on and what you should be looking out for. Then we're going to do a poll, and the reason we do a poll is because I want to make sure that I cover the information that you want to walk away from during these 60 minutes, because this is your time. This is time you've invested. Some of you may have already purchased a PIHRA membership, or some of you may be thinking about purchasing a PIHRA membership or coming back after a time where you had expired membership. So we just want to make sure that you get the information that you need. Then I'm going to do some more formal introductions of myself and the membership team and our special guests. Who, Liz, you can wave. Liz is on video. If you want to come on video, fantastic. By the way, if we have time, because we do have a lot of information to cover, there'll be opportunities for you to unmute and ask questions, hopefully. But we do spend the full 60 minutes covering information. So after the introduction, I'll be providing a brief PIHRA overview of who we are, how long we've existed, then go through our member benefits in some detail, and then all of the learning and networking opportunities that are available through PIHRA, and then we'll just wrap up and answer any final questions. Just so you know, during the PIHRA overview, we're also going to be showing you a map of our 18 chapters. So there's plenty of PIHRA communities within our organization that you can attend and belong to. So we'll get into all that information. All right, let's check out. All right, a lot of networking, fantastic. All right. I love to see where people are from. Okay, well, let's get started with our general update. So since the pandemic, and even before, we were trying to do more webinars for our attendees because we realized that people's time is at a premium, a lot of time constraints out there, but the pandemic forced that. And so now we're doing up to 3 free webinars or interactive virtual chats per month. Those are free for members. Some of them are free for all, depending on whether they're sponsored or not. So please look out for those. That's a great way for you to get professional development or knowledge building or recertification credits even sometimes that you need in the comfort of your office or your home. Currently, most of our PIHRA chapters probably all of our PIHRA chapters are hosting in-person meetings. At the end, now we're at the end of the year. A lot of people have a lot of different things going on. So we don't have as many professional development focused meetings, but we have a lot of holiday socials, or maybe not a lot, but a lot, um, a significant amount of our chapters are having holiday socials. It's a great time to just get out there if you want to attend an event where you can meet HR professionals and have a little bit of a good time. I'll tell you this, a lot of our PIHRA chapters have a good time, and that's why I love our community. It's a family-oriented, professional community. I know from my members, one of the key things members tell me is that they've made lifelong friendships through PIHRA. So I will talk about this a little bit more, but please attend a meeting, PIHRA Association meeting, just to give it a shot. If it's not for you, I understand. Go to another association and attend their meetings, because one thing that I think became very clear during the pandemic is that we can't do this alone, that we need a community around us. And so if it's not the PIHRA community, please find another community, whether it's for professional development or volunteering, because it does make a difference in your life and in your mental health. And that's a huge deal right now for everybody, especially the HR community. So I think I said this already, but keep visiting the PIHRA calendar and register for our events. They're accessible, affordable, and the knowledge that you're building is actionable in the workplace. So I can't emphasize that enough. And we're back in person, which is really exciting. And you'll find the community that's right for you. I feel confident about it. All right. Now let's get to the poll. What is your priority today? What did you say when you registered for this? Like, I need to find out this about PIHRA so I can make some decisions about where to spend my time, or what benefits that I need to be using, or to make a decision about investing in the membership or in the professional development. So I think it's up. What is your present impression today? I'll give it, 30 more seconds to see. I'd love to get all 7 of us to participate. Wonderful. All right, we don't have I think everyone's choosing something different, which is interesting. Okay. Benefits. Benefits is in the lead. Okay, people want to know about conferences and volunteering. Okay, everyone has responded, at least Set and PIHRA. Would you share the results with everybody? Now, you might want to know 2 things. So we'll cover most of these items, but if there's something really specific, please put it in the chat. Again, it's there's 10 of us here. I want to answer these questions, and it sounds like we're going to have some time. So you'll even have an opportunity to unmute. All right, let's stop sharing. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, so most of you chose something different, but 2 PIHRA benefits. So we'll get through that, and I'm going to get to these items quickly. So let me tell you a little bit about the membership team. Again, my name is Lily Arguello. Liliana is my full name. You can call me Lily, that's fine. I love working at PIHRA. I have a background in organizational development. I started in that field as an associate consultant pretty much right out of college, because of some of the work experience that I had and the connections that I had. So you'll hear me over and over again talk about connections and building those connections and community, because that's how I got to where I am today. I got this job through a connection. But what's interesting is that I went from consulting, I wanted to go internal into organizational development, HR strategy, and it was a leap. It was a difficult leap. And instead, I went into the nonprofit field. And I ended up, because of my strategic planning skills, working in kind of that project management, fund development, and media relations area, and ended up eventually at the Girl Scouts of Greater LA, which I feel is the largest leadership program in the world for women. And I was their membership manager with a specific focus on building partnerships in the inner city, lower income quartiles of Los Angeles. I'm Spanish speaking, so that worked out really well. During that time, I also took on volunteer leadership positions. So I helped launch the first professional chapter of the National Association of Women MBAs. That's how I got connected to my current supervisor, our CEO, Rafael Rivera, and that's how he found me on LinkedIn. So that is a pretty common story out there. I mean, it doesn't always happen, but I know that from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, between 70 to 80% of the people who find their job find it through their connections. So remember that, it's really important. I'm going to allow Elisette here, who's my colleague, to introduce herself. Come on, Elisette.
Thank you, Lily. Hi, everyone. Again, like I mentioned in the chat, I'm excited that you're here participating in the November orientation. I am the membership coordinator here at PIHRA, and I was onboarded straight, sorry for the background noise if you can hear it. I was onboarded here at PIHRA straight from college too, from undergrad. And I've been here for, I think I'm going on 7 years this month, which is exciting. I also love working here at PIHRA. We have a great team, and we're dedicated to serve, the HR community and professionals, and also stakeholders that work closely with HR professionals. So I'll be monitoring the chat box. Since we're a small group, we may have some time for some live questions and answers. So I'm excited to hear from you. If you have questions, let us know in the chat box, and we'll address them as we go. So thank you, Lily. I'll hand it back to you.
Great. So Elisette is my right hand, and she's probably the first person that you're going to speak with if you call the main number. Now, here's our contact information. I am really good at email, and it's my commitment to our members and stakeholders to return an email and a call within 24 hours. But I'll just admit that I'm better with email than with calling. But if you call my number, I might be available. It's just that I'm in and out of meetings a lot and sometimes going off site. So it could be a challenge, but email me and I'll get back to you right away. Same thing with Elisette. Me and her are really good at being able to solve a lot of the inquiries that we get. So please feel free to reach out. Now, I also want to introduce you to Matthew Pallets here on the left. He is the chair of the membership committee. So while PIHRA has a staff, we're right around 9 individuals on the staff. We're primarily volunteer-led. So this is a fantastic place to build your volunteer leadership skills and gain exposure in the HR community. Matt, call him Matt, he is a fantastic person. You may likely meet him at any of our conferences or events in the Orange County area. He does his best to attend them. He is an insurance broker, and we call folks that are not necessarily HR practitioners service providers. And what I love about working with service providers is their job is to be connectors. Usually, they're the first person to know about an open HR position or other HR organizations or strategy organizations or corporate culture organizations. So don't be fearful of them. A lot of the longtime service providers that are also volunteer leaders, they're here to build relationships. They want to help you. They don't really take a sales approach. There are always exceptions. But he's a great partner to me. He's a great liaison for me to the board, and the number one member advocate out there. So and he's accessible and reachable as well. Now I am really excited to introduce you to our special guest today, Liz Flores, or Elizabeth. I didn't put out your first name. I've been working with you a lot lately, and it's always a pleasure. So I'm so glad you're here with us. Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Liz Flores. I put my information in the chat. I am the founder of Liftum Consulting. We actually help empower teams and individuals who lack clarity, feel stuck, and struggle with self-doubt to build stronger teams, proactive leadership, and a more fulfilled, purposeful work-life culture. As Lily mentioned, I am currently the chair of PIHRA South Orange County. I have been a member of PIHRA for, gosh, I couldn't even start counting. That would really tell my age, but I have been in the HR industry now for over 20 years. And I can tell you that it's been very rewarding in the sense of knowing that I have PIHRA as an advocate in helping me maneuver and navigate my HR career. So, um, you know, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I shared that information. I shared my email as well as my website. And yes, so I'm here to be your, example of what it is to have a good career in HR and also have a very strong advocate by your side, which is PIHRA organization. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much, Liz. And since we had two people ask about member benefits, can you tell me what your number one PIHRA member benefit in terms of impacting you, your career, or any way? What's that number one benefit, in your opinion?
Gosh, there's so many, but I think the most important thing is the fact that we have resources within PIHRA. And, whether you're starting in the HR industry or even have been in the industry now for a number of years, you can go to the PIHRA website, and if you're trying to troubleshoot a situation at work, or something comes up in employees relations issues, and you're like, okay, I need to know what is my avenue here to try to resolve this, right? So there's a whole bunch of resources that are available to you through your membership through PIHRA. And I know for me, a lot of times I've gone in there and it could just be maybe a specific article on the topic, and that's helpful enough. But that alone in itself, I think, is very resourceful. But I think a combination of that is also having access to all these other HR professionals that if you need to bounce something off of them, or it's like, you know what, I need to talk to somebody and just get their perspective on how they've handled that situation. PIHRA, the network, is just filled with really talented and expert, level HR professionals that, you could just say, hey, I'm going through this. How have you dealt with that? And that's just been an amazing opportunity for me to be able to just connect that way with, just a plethora of HR professionals.
Yeah, Liz,
Yes.
thank you for bringing that up. I call it building your HR board of advisors.
There you
This
go.
is the place, yeah, this is the place where you're going to meet people that have gone through what you're going through, whether it's dealing with a difficult employee or a difficult manager or even CEO, or dealing with a sexual harassment suit or having to go to a mediation. If you haven't done it before, I can imagine how nightmarish it is. But this is where you meet people, keep in contact with them, put them on your speed dial list, and when something comes up, I when I was a consultant, I realized that HR can be a pretty lonely job, and unfortunately you're sometimes just pushed to the side because you're a cost center in a lot of the minds of the other group. And so it can be lonely. And so having that community that you can call and say, oh my God, this is going on. Have you ever dealt with this? What should I do? What should I not do? And just get that sounding board. One of our volunteers also called it their HR Fab Five. Because they're superheroes to her. And
Yeah.
so I think that's one of the number, that community building and that HR Board of Advisors. So that's why I encourage you all to get out there, volunteer, and I'll talk about some of the online tools too. So thank you, Liz, and chime in whenever you want. And again, please ask questions in the chat because I'll keep talking. I'll keep talking. So let's talk about PIHRA, just giving you an overview. Here's our mission. I'm not going to read it to you. You can read it for yourself, but we exist to provide the HR community in California the professional development and education they need to be successful. We are well known for our California focused education in employment law. If you've never been to the California Employment Law Update, you should get some training budget to go or start saving. We do have one coming up, and I'll tell you when that is in I think it's January in Riverside, but we have a larger event that happens in October, right when the governor signs all the bills, so that you're prepared for the following year. Also, our chapters, they provide professional development. We have 18 chapters. You're going to see a map in a moment. Most of them have monthly meetings, or after post-pandemic, what they're doing is they'll have an in-person meeting, a very traditional in-person lecture. It's a breakfast meeting. Then the next month they'll have a lunch plus a sort of workshop. And then the next month, so they'll rotate. The month 3 will be a social in the evening. Sometimes it's purely social. Sometimes there's a speaker or a workshop as well. I like those the best because I don't have to take away from work. I like the evening ones. So, and then the high impact networking, I've already talked about that. I can't emphasize that enough. So I feel like we do a really great job achieving our mission. Here's some key players. Oh, before I go off this, we are the largest SHRM affiliate in the country. One of you asked about that, and if you have any specific questions, either put it in the chat or you can unmute. So what that means is that we are affiliated with SHRM, but we are 2 separate entities. So SHRM has their membership and we have ours. We do collaborate from time to time. In the past, we've done a dual membership. Right now, we do not have anything like that. But if you are a SHRM member and you contact me, I can give you a discount on our membership. So usually I'll ask that you fill out a form making us your primary SHRM chapter. And what that does is that they provide us with money to invest back in you as an affiliate. So if you have any more questions about that, we are a SHRM affiliate. We are connected with them, but we are 2 separate organizations. We have an annual conference. They have an annual conference, and so forth. But we do have a connection and a relationship, and it's a positive one. So here's some key players. I told you we were primarily volunteer-led. Liz Flores is the chair and going into immediate past chair of our largest chapter, which is PIHRA South OC. Para Fournier is the president of the PIHRA board of the entire association. So if you're interested in how we're structured, feel free to ask. But we have an association-wide board, and then we have 18 chapters, and each chapter has its own board, and they report up through regional representatives. Tara is HR certified. You're going to see our demographic profile of our members. A lot of us are SHRM and or HRCI certified. I got my SHRM certification, the SHRM SCP certification. I could talk to you about that, but I studied for over 150 hours for that exam, and I passed in early 2021. She's very accessible, very willing to talk to you about her experience getting her certification or as an HR practitioner. And she actually worked at SHRM in their emerging leaders area, so she can help orient you to SHRM as well if you have any questions. Now, Rafael Rivera is our fearless leader on the staff side. He is my supervisor. So if you thought this was great, find him on LinkedIn and let him know. If you didn't think this went so well, I don't know, maybe give me that feedback so I can correct. But he's fantastic. He brought me on. He's the person who found me because he had been working for associations for many, many years. I really credit him for taking PIHRA and refreshing the brand. He refreshed our annual conference. Before it was called the annual PIHRA annual conference. It's now the California HR conference. And he did the same with our legal update. And he's also built some great teams and got us through the pandemic, which was a tough feat, and still getting us through this recovery phase. So he's an excellent leader, and I really credit him for the success of PIHRA. I was telling you, here's our demographics right now. We have right around 3,500 members. Now, I got to tell you, pre-pandemic, we were at 4,800 members. So we've kind of taken a hit there. I think a lot of organizations did that and really had to scale back on spending, and or people just got so busy that there was not even time to renew a membership or go to professional development. The majority of our members, right around 43%, are at the HR manager generalist level. 28% are at the HR director and above level. And then you'll see that the breakdown on the left here. Hopefully you could see that clearly. 40% of our members are HR certified. There's 2 HR certification agencies. It's hrci.org. I think you see their logo there, and then SHRM. If you have any questions, I see any questions about certification. I am a great advocate for certification. I think it definitely adds to your profile. And the way PIHRA fits into that is that we offer prep courses to take the exam, and at our chapter meetings and at our conferences, you can get recertification credit. So once you have your certification, you need to recertify every 3 years, and this is where you can get those recertification credits. Our members represent right around 2,300 companies in Southern California. We have some members outside of California, but not a lot. And I calculated at one point that our members impact right around 2.5 million people through the workplace. So you are very important to society. And so we want to make sure that we help you get the tools and the knowledge and the resources that you need. And then our top industry represented by members is manufacturing, then consulting, then nonprofit, and then healthcare. Doesn't mean that there's not members in other industries. Those are just the top ones. I don't see any questions, so all right. You guys are all very attentively just listening or working on something else. Not sure, but let me know if you want to unmute. I'd love to hear from you. All right, here's our footprint. Like I said, we had 18 chapters. Our largest is South OC. And maybe this is a great time. I'll let you unmute in a second, Liz, so you could talk about PIHRA South OC, but they're our largest chapter. Right now, you guys are right around 400 members. Pre-pandemic, you had over 700 members. And because I live near downtown LA, I unfortunately don't get down to South OC very often, but I used to hear that at any given time at one of your breakfast meetings, you could meet up to 100 people at the breakfast meeting. So if you want to do some networking and you're in Orange County, South OC is a place to go. Our third largest chapter is North OC. That's also a really fantastic group. And they have some events coming up that I'll tell you about. Our second largest chapter is actually our founding chapter, PIHRA Los Angeles. They meet out of downtown LA. And they were, if any of you are longtime PIHRA members, you might remember that our chapters were called districts and they had a number. So PIHRA Los Angeles was District 1. And that was because that was our first chapter ever. They started in 1944. I think they had their first board meeting in 1945. A group of personnel managers got together and they founded PIHRA, Professionals in Industrial Relations Association. And they got together because they wanted to have those conversations about what did personnel managers need to continue to thrive? Were there certifications out there? What sort of degrees did they need? What sort of resources and infrastructure did that group of professionals need to continue to thrive and be strategic and well regarded in the workplace? And so, and this is, I usually say it beforehand, but we were founded in 1944 and 1945. SHRM was founded in 1948. So we're always 3 years older than SHRM. If you have any questions about any, I saw that, was it John? You're in West LA. You're at my alma mater, UCLA. I was just there last night. PIHRA West LA, they had gone into kind of a decline pre-pandemic. Boy, oh boy, they are thriving right now. They have an event on December 14th. It's a holiday social, and it's really fun. So if you want to go there. If you're a member, you can attend any PIHRA chapter meeting at the member price. You do not have to go to your preferred chapter. When you join, we ask you what's your preferred chapter, usually the chapter that you work closest to or that you live closest to. But if there is a meeting that has a topic that you really need more information on, or that's your interest, you want to build mastery in that area, you can go to that meeting. I just suggest that you register in advance online, because if you go, say you belong to PIHRA Long Beach and you go to a PIHRA West LA and you don't register online and you get there like, wait, I want to pay the member price. They're like, you're not on our roster. That can happen. Usually they're like, sure, no problem. But I just want you to avoid feeling uncomfortable about that. So I do see something in the chat. Irene, great. Are there any benefits to volunteering? Ooh, Liz, do you want to talk about volunteering benefits, such as attending meetings for free? Ooh,
Yes, we love volunteers. And this is a very great way that if you want to get involved as part of the chapter and the board, this is a very great way for you to actually come in, observe, get your feet wet a little bit as to the sense of like, okay, let's see how, the board members interact and what happens when we're putting an event together and how do we, interact with our members. And also, just being able to evaluate, is this something that I really have time to do? And so we encourage you to come in, especially at PIHRA South OC, and observe. And that could be anywhere from maybe about 30 days, maybe 90 days. And then, we'll make a space for you. And just knowing where it is like you think you're going to be your greatest ability, to fulfill your purpose within the chapter. So we encourage you to do that. It's a wonderful time, and it's just really a great way to get to know, the members, the board members, and just in general getting involved with PIHRA as a whole.
Yeah, Irene, I did to answer your specific question. Unfortunately, board members don't get free membership or free attendance to meetings. That's not how we're structured. The key benefits are building your leadership skills and gaining that, that exposure within the community. And I really feel I have some testimony from some of our members. For example, a student member started the PIHRA Student Club at Cal State Fullerton, then got involved at the professional level. Their sponsoring chapter was PIHRA South OC, and they got a job through those connections at PIHRA South OC. So those are the key benefits. Sorry, I know we just, unfortunately, we can't. We have over, gosh, Elisa, we have over 200 volunteer leaders, and it would just not be financially feasible to do that. But thank you for asking. That's great. All right. So I do see some. All right. Yeah, please check out Pasadena. Pasadena is a great group. They have breakfast meetings at NOR. I think they're meeting at NOR off of Colorado. So that's a great group as well. And if any of you have any other specific questions about our chapters, let us know, because we're here to answer that. We also have 3 specialty groups. I'm going to talk about two of them. I have a slide for two of them. One of them I don't have a slide for, but we could talk about. So there's three: the PIHRA Foundation, PIHRA Emerging Leaders, and the PIHRA Government Advocacy Team. So let's talk about the PIHRA Foundation right now. They are a separate entity. They're their own 501c3, and they exist to fundraise money to offer scholarships. You do not have to be a PIHRA member to be awarded one of these scholarships. They have two different types of scholarships. One is a scholarship toward your HR degree. So if you or anybody you know or on your team is getting their bachelor's in HR, or I think UCLA has something called labor studies, or their master's in HR or a related field, this is a great scholarship to apply to. Those scholarships, I think you can get up to $3,000. That's the award, and that application deadline's coming up in 2 days. So check it out. Here's the URL, and click on scholarships, and you'll find the application there and the email for if you have any questions. So get on that right away. There's also an HR certification scholarship, and that deadline's on December 17th. So it's coming up. And that was an interesting way. You have to pass your certification before you get the scholarship. So you probably want to be in the process of studying for your certification, whether it's SHRM or HRCI, and be really close to taking your exam to apply for the certification. I don't know the deadline, the details, but I do know they don't fund the award until after you pass the exam. So, but there is an email there if you have any questions. Emerging Leaders. This was formerly Young Professionals. I'm really proud of this group, although they need volunteers. So if you're interested in this, let me know. I'll connect you with some folks that are trying to get it together right now. I see this group merging with our college relations group. We do have 12 student chapters, but because there's kind of a vacuum there, I'm hoping that these two groups start working together to get something going and get more emerging leaders. And what we mean is those could be folks who are early entrants into the HR profession, or people who are mid-career and transferring to the HR career. So these events could be anything from networking events. We had a speed networking event. They do volunteer days at different sorts of charities, or career development sort of meetings. Usually that's one per quarter, but yeah, this is a great group. I'm really crossing my fingers that this gets reactivated soon. The other group that I don't have a slide for is the government advocacy team. That is led by one of my PIHRA friends, Dana Mayhew. She has been a member for a very long time, and she's very connected with CalSHRM. CalSHRM is the state council for SHRM in California. They do a lot of work in Sacramento. We do not lobby, but SHRM lobbies through SHRM lobbyists and CalSHRM lobbyists on Capitol Hill about issues that are important to the workplace, employers, and the HR function. So this group, the government advocacy team, has electeds come and talk. They, I think Dana just got ill recently, so she hasn't been doing too much, but they would have quarterly Zoom meetings where they would invite an elected that was on the labor commission or working on something interesting in one of the districts in California. And it was a great opportunity to talk to them, pick their brain on what's coming up, and just advocate for things that your organization may need. So I need to add that slide back in here. Okay, member benefits. This is the one that two of you were asking about. I talked about monthly meetings. We talked a little bit about volunteering. I'll have more. We talked about PIHRA SHRM. So benefits. These are the top 5 benefits that you need to know about. So the HR education and training opportunities, we have conferences, we have monthly meetings. We talked a little bit about that. We have the California focused HR education, building relationships in person and virtually. I think I have a slide on a virtual kind of Facebook type of platform where we have over 1,000 of our stakeholders interact and ask each other questions and things like that. But I think what you want to hear about is the online compliance center and the HR advisory hotline. We offer, I'm going to just go on to the next slide. We offer those resources. They're online through our partner Mineral. And I monetize what this would cost you if you did it alone, or you bought it for your organization or your team. It would probably cost you right around $12,000. What you're getting is this online compliance center. There's hundreds of policy templates. There's a handbook builder. There's a job description builder. There's a salary comparison tool. There's webinars on there. I mean, you can go in there and spend an afternoon. Now, if you are a member and you haven't gotten here and you're trying to figure out how to get on there, don't hesitate to email me and Elisette, because we can help you right away get on. Sometimes there's trouble on the back end on getting you on this platform. There's API integration, and sometimes it's not working very well. So we can help you though. Don't get frustrated. But for $175 to $150, depending on how you get your membership, you're getting $12,000 worth of value here. We have PIHRA Live. That's a telephone-based and online-based HR consulting service. So like Liz was saying, you got this thing that comes up and you're like, oh my God, I need to figure this out. Let me get another opinion here. Call PIHRA Live. It's an HR hotline. Here's the number. All they're going to ask is your name, maybe your company name. If you don't have access, immediately call me or email me or Elisette. We'll get you on there. If they give you a hard time, I love giving people, well, I don't love people giving people a hard time, but I will go to bat for you to make sure, because if we know that you're on the back end, then we can help you get that service. But you could also go online. Just that alone is probably $1,500 of value. You can call an unlimited amount of time. I can't get that service for our members from anybody else at that price point. So the thing we added this year, and it's going to continue next year, is PIHRA Learn. This is an online learning management software that you can use to administer courses to your employees. There's right around 200 courses on there. They range from customer service to other sorts of like harassment training. The mandatory manager sexual harassment training, and there's a mandatory OSHA training. Those do not come with this package, but you could add them for a very discounted price. And there's even a way, if you have your own taped trainings like onboarding videos, you can upload it to this, and you can even create learning tracks for your team. So if you need, if your organization, and at least Liz, you were just talking about, I forget how you phrased it, this people-centered training. So everyone likes training in a different way. But I think the virtual piece is affordable, it's easy. You can upload your own training modules to this, so it works out really well. Liz, have you used these? I'm just going to check the chat. The 911 for HR, definitely. Yeah, I don't see any questions, but this is huge. Again, if you have any trouble getting on here, just let me and Elisette know. Where's my time? All right. If you're not a member, you may want to wait to Cyber Monday between November 27th and 29th. You could purchase a PIHRA membership. It's $175, and then you'll get a $25 gift card. So that's a really cool deal. I know I like little gifts. So again, the PIHRA membership is usually $175. Sometimes you can bundle it if you're attending the California HR conference or the California Employment Law update. You can bundle it, and the membership is only $150. Insider tip. So you could always bundle it. Maybe you could start asking your supervisor, if you're the director of HR, you can incorporate that into your budget. And we also have an HR team membership, and that is, so our typical membership is usually individual, and it's non-refundable and not portable, meaning that not transferable, sorry, it is portable. So non-transferable, non-refundable, but it's portable. That means that if you get it and you work at UCLA Health, well, if you go to another organization, that membership will follow you. But with the HR team, you can buy it for your organization's team. You get a really good discount. If someone leaves the team, we could trade them out with a new team member. And the person who leaves, they still will get their membership for the remaining amount of months that's left. So it's a really nice little benefit if someone leaves. But this is another opportunity to become members. And this platform I was telling you about, so you could connect online. Even if you're not a PIHRA member, I suggest you visit PIHRA.tradewing.com. It's a great place to kind of get a feel for our community online. All right, I talked about benefits. We're going into the conferences. Anyone want to unmute and ask a question or get further clarification on something?
What was the website for PIHRA Connect again? I was trying to type it out. There we go. Thank you.
No problem. And if you, I've been trying to use QR codes, but I know it's like hard, like to get my phone out. But yeah, PIHRA.tradewing.com.
That's a great platform. Really good. I mean, just the whole network of, again, HR professionals, and not to mention also the fact that sometimes you get different HR professionals and even at PIHRA, we have a career center,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Where we post jobs.
Yeah, you can even upload your resume. Employers looking for HR folks, they come to us because they, and rightfully so, we specialize in HR professionals, and anybody who is a PIHRA member, they know they're investing in their own career. They're passionate about learning in HR, so that's why they come to us. So you may want to, I don't, at least set, actually I could put it in here. If you go to PIHRA.org/jobs, you can find our career center. And if you have any questions, after this webinar, we will send you this deck. And I'm also going to send you information about the career center so that you know it exists, whether you want to put a job on there or you want to start looking for jobs there. If you subscribe and if you're interested, we'll send you information on how to be a subscriber to PIHRA. It's you don't have to pay anything, it's free, but we'll send you, I think it's once a month at least, the HR jobs that are being posted on our site. So it's like the hottest HR jobs in LA. Not a lot. I just spoke to a recruiter, unfortunately, and Liz, I don't know what you've been hearing out there, but not a lot of jobs are happening right now. It might be because it's end of the year, it might be because there's some uncertainty about the economy, even though, all the indicators is that it's relatively strong. I think that the inflation and high interest rates is making people pause.
We have seen in the HR industry alone, it's taking some HR professionals up to 6 months to find a position. And that's been kind of the average. I mean, if you get a job within 3 months, consider yourself one of the lucky ones. But yeah, that's the influx that we're seeing right now with trying to land an HR role right now.
Yeah. Want to volunteer? Scan this code or go to PIHRA.org/volunteer. It's a fantastic way. There's all kinds of different opportunities. You can take a formal role on. You don't have to be a member to volunteer at the conference. This year,
Right.
Our conference is in Anaheim at the Anaheim Hilton, May 20th, right around May 20th. We'll need volunteers for that. You do not have to be a member. It's a one-day opportunity. So kind of check out the conference. You get conference on demand for free, meet some people. It's a great way. Also the chapter. So I highly suggest if you are either looking for a job or want to grow in HR, this is where you're going to gain that visibility. And like I say, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And when you're volunteering, they're going to see your work ethic, your ability to manage and juggle different priorities, how you get along with everybody. Can you deal with difficult situations and stressful situations well? And that's what you need in the workplace, y'all. So people are going to see that in person. Also, we didn't talk about this at the chapter meetings. A lot of the chapters during kind of the intro, they'll ask people, anybody looking for a job or anyone have an HR position open at their organization. So it's a great place to connect in that way as well. Forgot to mention that. All right. Learning and networking. How much time? I only have 10 minutes left. Okay. So there's all kinds of, we've talked about some of the HR education. We have chapter meetings, virtual learning, conferences. We have specialty programs. We have a new specialty program called HR Power Series that's coming up. So there's a lot of different learning opportunities throughout the year. There's some months where, God, there's like 10 or 15 different meetings going on. Members save at least $10 for their registration fees when attending PIHRA chapter meetings, and they also save on conferences as well. I told you about the free conferences. Me and Liz are doing a free virtual chat on December 8th. It's free. Come join us. Liz has been has some great experience in succession planning. She knows the pitfalls and she knows how to really construct a strategic succession plan. So we're going to be talking about that. And you could ask questions of her during that. So that's going to be great. And we'll start off the new year with some other webinars as well. We have a California employment law update. I call it the focus update. It's a 1 day. Everyone's in the same room all day long with I think it's 5 different learning sessions. We work with some of the best and brightest employee law attorneys in Southern California. So if you're interested in employee relations or I think employment law is important to have for any HR in their back pocket. I think it's an incredible resume builder. So these are one of those sorts of conferences that you don't want to miss. I know for me, I wanted to do the strategic HR exam through SHRM, and then the second one that I thought would make me more marketable. Not that I don't necessarily want to go into HR, but just because I want to understand what you are needing is the PIHRA California, which is the California law focused exam. So I think it makes you very marketable. And some organizations are actually wanting a JD for directors of HR or VPs of employee engagement or people management, because in California, there's so many laws that you have to navigate. So this is going to be a great event on January 24th. If you're interested in HR certification, I don't see anyone interested in that. So I'm going to continue to go on. Oh, great. Do you want to talk about that, Liz? What you put in the chat?
To me, that's another resource. And I think for us HR professionals is also PIHRA, we work with all sorts of different HR professional vendors. So it could be attorneys, it could be, maybe you're looking for a new benefits broker, maybe you're looking for a new payroll service. Maybe you're looking for a new HRIS software system. This is the wonderful thing about PIHRA is that you could get all those resources in one space. So for me, I've always come here and I always like to vet 3 vendors if I'm thinking about changing, HR employee services. So I always like to vet 3 vendors. And this is a good platform, obviously, to go and find those vendors that a lot of times, come to our private events and they sponsor. And not only that, but you could also, again, contact your HR professionals within the database, say, hey, who do you use as your benefits broker? And, what kind of pricing are you getting? So this is where you go and, find that information. So definitely a great vendor services resource as well.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So in the chat, I put our marketplace on. You might also need a translator if you're in an industry where there's a lot of either Spanish speaking employees or Chinese speaking employees, or, there's we're pretty ethnically diverse in Southern California. So you might want to find a translator. So I put the marketplace in there. And that's a great way to find different sorts of providers and vendors. All right. So if you have any questions, this is the time to unmute. I want to challenge you all, or let me know with a raise of hands, whether it's virtual or you're actually on video. How many of you have attended a PIHRA meeting? All right, Jordan, I see you. Cindy says no. Anybody else?
I have.
Marie, you have? Okay, great. Well, for those of you who have, great. For those of you who haven't, I challenge you. I challenge you to go to one PIHRA event in the next quarter. Now we're already in November, so all we have going on right now are socials. They're usually holiday socials, but I guarantee you, starting Q1 next year in 2024, and Liz, you can talk about some plans you have. There's going to be all kinds of meetings throughout our footprint, which we go as far north as Antelope Valley and Ventura County. Far south is North San Diego County and Irvine, where Liz's events are. So, but here's some events that are coming up. I'm going to be at the December 14th PIHRA Jingle and Jazz social, because those are really fun. And Liz, you're going to be at the one in South OC, right?
We are hosting a holiday social, and we are going to have a very well-renowned guitarist. He'll be playing a little bit of jazz as well as and jingle music. But yeah, definitely come out. It's already up on the registration to come out and join us. We love to be able to just meet you and socialize and hopefully get you on board for next year.
Right. Cindy, you said no. Where are you located? Do you want to unmute? Sorry to
I
put you on
just
the
sent it in
spot.
the chat. No, you're good. I'm in Irvine, so I was just thinking of going to that South OC one.
Oh,
So
you guys,
I'll meet you, Liz.
Yeah, you got to connect with Cindy.
Yes.
LinkedIn.
Let me give you my LinkedIn. I don't know
And
if you got it the last time.
yeah, the reason I say that is that I'll be honest, I have social anxiety. So I like to know, like, okay, there's someone that I know that's going to be there. So, if you ever want to be introduced in advance to someone that you know is going to be at a meeting, or you're like, okay, Lily's going to go to this event, I'm going to go. I'd love to meet you there because I can introduce you to folks there, introduce you to people who have experiences or that you might be interested in, or anything like that. So, but it is sometimes hard to get out. I want to encourage you all to do something like that. So, and Kristen, I see your note. I don't know if you want to. Emerging leaders. So Kristen has a note about emerging leaders. Yeah, so that would be a great group. But it's not very active. So depending on where, so I can't suggest that as a group for you right now as you transition into HR. I think that depending on where you reside or where you are, I would suggest that you go to one of those chapter meetings, because you'll find a lot of different people who are willing to help introduce you to somebody. If you have like a goal, like a dream organization you want to work with, maybe there's someone there that knows someone from that dream organization or can give you some advice. Yes, just yesterday I was working with one of our student chapters. We have contacts at Robert Half, and we did a LinkedIn workshop, and it's tips and tricks on LinkedIn. But honestly, the emerging leaders are just getting those together right now. If you want to volunteer, let me know, and we can figure that out as well.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah, no problem, Kristen. Yeah, I really loved that group when it was active, but I think the pandemic threw everybody for a spin there. So we need to regroup that. But if you're interested in volunteering, let me know. We're going to follow up with you. Yeah. So right after this meeting, Elisette, because I have something else I need to get done today. She's going to send out this deck, and we'll send you the URL for the Career Center, for the foundation, and whatever else. Oh, the marketplace, so that you have all that at your fingertips, and these slides. Here's some other ways to connect. If you haven't joined the PIHRA LinkedIn group, join that. If you're a member, I'll automatically approve your access to the group. But follow our LinkedIn page. All of our chapters have a group as well. And depending on how active their social media person is, they'll accept you into that group as well. Facebook and Twitter is not super active. We've gotten really active on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram, and LinkedIn is big. And then we have PIHRA Connect. So go to PIHRA Connect, and it's 1 o'clock. So I want to honor your time. Thank you so much. I told you we'd have a full hour. Feel free to reach out to me if you ever need anything, or if I can connect you with somebody who's of interest, whether it's from our membership base or our LinkedIn group. I have a large LinkedIn network, so I'd be happy to introduce you. And with that, any last words, Liz?
Hey, I mean, I don't know what else you need to be convinced that this is where you need to be. But yeah, if you have more questions, like Lily said, you could reach out to her, you could reach out to Lisette or myself. Again, I have been a member of South Orange County chapter for, I'm going to say, over 15 years. It's the only chapter I've ever been involved with. And it's an honor for me to now be serving as chair. So, you know, it's just one of those things where you kind of want to give back when you have been given so many resources to help you navigate your HR career journey. So it's a good way to pay back.
Liz, thank you for being our special guest. All of you, thank you so much for joining today. I know you've invested this time. Have a great Thanksgiving and holidays.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you for joining, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Lily,
Thank
I have
you.
a quick
Bye.
I have a quick comment, not really question. I work at Frasco, and Jamie Lloyd told me to attend this and become a member, and
Yay!
she gives her regards and says hello. So just wanted to pass that along.
Great. Are you in Arizona?
No, I'm
Or-
in California, in Irvine.
Okay, got it. Oh, that's right. You already said that. She's in
Yeah,
Arizona now.
she
So,
is. Yeah,
but she's
she's on
still
like the
very
border of.
active. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know
thank you.
what
Tell
events
her I
she
say
goes
hi.
to, but yeah, I will.
No, she goes to our conference every year, and yeah, we interact a lot on email and things like that. So, but thank you, and thank you for
Awesome.
joining today. And if you need
Yeah, of
anything,
course.
just let me know. And tell
Thank
her
you
I
so
say
much.
hi.
This has been very helpful. I'll let her know. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Ciao.
Bye bye.